Let me tell you the story of how I realized that my studying routine was ruining my grades, and it might be ruining yours too. Whenever I was given an exam, I would set aside the first few weeks before the exam to study a few hours. Within these hours, I would revise over notes, go through work or homework that my teachers had given me, and if I was lucky, I would do a past paper that was provided by my school. Now, I fell into the trap of believing that it was how much time I studied rather than how I was studying that reflected my grades. This led to wasted time, terrible grades, and a loss in self-trust, which is actually the cause of procrastination. So, in this video, I'm going to provide you the studying routine that'll have you from wasted time to too much free time on your hands and more A's on your report card than you'll know what to do with. The first mistake that you're making with your studying routines is focusing too much on learning. Now, what I mean by this is that in your study routines, you spend too much time either revising, highlighting, note-taking, or learning. First of all, you should have done these during classes when you were learning it. You're wasting too much time. Now, why this is important is because active recall is far more important than actually learning when it comes to memorizing. Picture this, tomorrow is your exam. You go through your entire textbook and highlight everything. Now, when you're in that exam, you never actually prepared yourself to answer these questions, and the odds are you don't even know the information. Now, imagine another scenario where instead you learned the most high-yield topics that you can, and then you do practice questions of them. Now, if you don't have practice questions, you should go through workbooks or put your syllabus or your workbooks into ChatGPT and ask for practice questions on the highest yield concepts. Now you are equipped with how to solve high yield concepts, and you probably will know or memorize far more than you would have if you just highlighted or took notes. Now, the next mistake that you are making with your studying routine is using the wrong studying methods. Let's imagine two scenarios. In the first scenario, you start taking notes by highlighting. Now, what you're doing is emphasizing the important words and important concepts, but there is no real connection between these different concepts. There's no deep thought while highlighting or rereading. Now, let's imagine another scenario where instead of highlighting, you do a mind map. It uses actual thinking and requires you to connect different ideas. What this does is helps you to understand and retain more with far less. So use high yield studying formats. To name a few, there is mind maps, flowcharts, the Cornell method, diagrams. You can make voice notes on what you learned. And what I find the most effective is to actually teach. Just reading through it once and then turning on a camera and teaching yourself the concept is far easier to learn something. For the final mistake that you are making, it is how you set out your day-to-day studying routine. I'm not going to waste any of your time. I'm going to get straight to the point. There are three aspects that you need to optimize every single day you study. Starting off with the first part, you want to study each subject every day. So instead of spending one day maths, one day science, one day English, do mini studying sessions. Maybe it's 15 minutes maths, 15 minutes English, 15 minutes science, 15 minutes geography. Going into the next part of these three. If that's not enough time, then what you do is you stack them up. So you have 3 sessions, each subject, 15 minutes. That is far more effective than just studying 3 hours of each subject, and then that's one day of studying, and you do that for each subject a week. The final part is breaks. So usually, unproductive sessions or unproductive habits build momentum. When you do something productive, that'll build into more and more productive habits. When you do something unproductive, it'll also build into the momentum of unproductive habits. So, if you do something like stare at a wall, go on a walk, maybe go do some chores, your brain will keep on that productive momentum, and it'll be far easier to get straight into the work. If you want to learn how to ace 2025 with only 1 hour of studying, check this video here. Thank you for your time and use it wisely.